Hi YouTube, welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be making the koala doll. This doll was voted for on my Patreon by my patrons. So I do like a little poll with a list of animals to make, and the koala won this time. So this is making the koala doll. So she is available in my store at creaturesinat.com. Check that out, and also payment plans are welcome. So just shoot me a message if you're interested in doing a payment plan. Really flexible. And let's get on with the video. So if you haven't already seen my sculpting video, I go through sculpting all the parts that I'm going to be attaching to this doll, so including the head and the hands. So check that out. Try and remember to link it below, but I never do. And moving on to the head piece. So this is sculpted from Sculpting Original, and I'm just painting all of the pieces that are going to be shown under the faux fur. So mouth, nose, eyes, basically in a water-based acrylic paint. Nothing special. And then I go back and enhance the features again once the fur has been applied. So once that's done, I can start constructing the armature. So I use a ball and socket armature. I have this armature in my shop. If you're interested, they come in coils as well as the tools and all little attachments as well. And then I coil a pipe cleaner around it, so that helps with the polyfill that I'm going to be felting the body out of. Just helps the polyfill attach to something rather than trying to attach it to just plastics. It ends up sort of going around in a circle. So the pipe cleaners helps this polyfill attach to the body and sort of twist it around on itself, and then I can start needle felting the body. So I'm using just a single needle felting tool, and I basically create sort of the muscle tone in this polyfill. And I mean, traditionally you use alpaca fiber to felt things, but I find this polyfill works really well, and it's so much cheaper, and you're only going to be covering it anyway. So this polyfill works great. It's a bit of a longer process than what I normally do, but I think the outcome is definitely better than my old process as well. And the larger dolls usually take a lot of polyfill to do, and a lot longer as well. So this koala one is quite chunky, so it took a little bit of time to do the whole body. And once that's done though, I can move on to the faux fur. So I had this really great faux fur. It's really koala-like. It's super soft. The softest faux fur I've used. It's really hard to work with though, but I'll explain more on that over on my Patreon, and I'll also have a couple of videos from this doll over on my Patreon as well. So basically I am starting off with the torso piece, just cutting off a piece and refining it a bit more once it's on there, and then I'll sew this together. So I start by sewing from the neck down using a lattice stitch. Get yourself a good quality thread, because it really makes a difference when you're trying to pull things tight. And then once I've sewn the torso piece together, I can move on to the legs and arms. So same sort of deal with the torso piece. I'm just refining the piece as I'm going along and cutting a section out that fits the muscle tone. So that's the whole point of needle felting things, where I can just work off that muscle tone and just sort of drape this sort of skin over it, and then sewing it up with the ladder stitch again. So the arms are two-toned, so I pinned one side together and then I did the same process, refining the piece on the actual doll and following the muscle tone as well. And then I can sew one side and sew the other side and then sew the complete thing on using that ladder stitch as well. So this is the chest piece. I've sewn the two arms on and then I'm moving on to the chest. Again, the same process, refining the piece, and I'm just going to be sewing it over the top of the grey faux fur because I can blend it a little bit better. So I cut a piece out and just pin it together and then sew it again using that ladder stitch. Same deal for the bum piece, again pinning it together and sewing it on. It's a smaller piece this time, and yeah, sewing it with the ladder stitch. And I'm going to be adding a couple of little white dots onto the back of the faux fur, so I'm basically just cutting out a small section of the white and then placing it in between some sections of grey faux fur and blending it in with that needle tool that you can see. Once that's done, I can start gluing all the pieces together. So I'm using a tacky fabric glue to glue the head on first, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue the arms and legs. So normally I don't paint the pieces while they're already on. I did forget to paint the hands, so I'm just going ahead and quickly painting the hands using some water-based acrylic paint. For the ears, this is a quick little bit of the process, but I'm going to be posting this over on my Patreon on how I did the ears, so check it out over there. They do have a wire armature inside of it, so they're slightly posable, but yeah, I'll probably have those videos up very soon on my Patreon, so if you want to know how I make it, just keep your eye out over there. I'm also going to be doing a tutorial on how I applied some of the faux fur to this particular doll. It's not the process that I normally do, but you can see a little bit of the process of this particular fur. So once the fur has been applied, I can start refining all of the pieces, all the areas that have a little bit of faux fur on it, just to bring out the features again. That's pretty much it for this little video. So check it out in my shop if it hasn't already been snapped up. Like I said, payment plans are welcome. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, creaturesandthat, my shop, creaturesandthat.com. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.